podcasting is all about perfectionism. Welcome to take 186 of How Do We Human. It's the podcast where we overanalyze all the weird and uncomfortable micro moments in life. I'm one of your hosts, Evan Cox.
I'm one of your hosts, Chris Binning.
Today we're talking about perfectionism.
Oh, you got it wrong again.
No, we're gonna have to start over before we become perfect. Chris,
Yeah.
tell me about some of your imperfections. How
much time you got?
About an hour.
Doing all right.
Hour 20 max.
Yeah.
Fuck around with the Thomas the Tank
max.
Engine song.
Yeah. We got the Thomas the Tank Engine song. We've got, of course, Boing. We're really building a library.
Yeah. We're
gonna have to do a mashup of those two.
The world's been waiting.
Yes. I'm doing all right. I was on Cinco de Mayo going to go bowling on my first ever double date.
Whoa.
My girlfriend and I and her twin sister and the guy that her sister has been seeing. I don't know if they're officially boyfriend and girlfriend.
Let's not break that news.
That's not a How Do We Human exclusive. We can't break that news. Here's the thing. All of us live in the Valley.
Yeah.
This is your Eagle Rock, your Burbank, your Glendale, your North Hollywood area of Los Angeles. All of these cities are within like 20 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, there are plenty of bowling alleys in these cities. But it was decided that what we should do on Cinco de Mayo at like 7 p.m. We should drive into Hollywood to go to a fancier bowling alley over there. And, to be fair, it seemed all right. It was going to be a 19-minute drive. That's not too bad. A little bit of traffic, of course, but only 19 minutes, that's doable. How long do you think it took, Evan, for us to get there?
To get there? Like, there, park the car? Oof. I'm scared now. I'll say 40 minutes.
Oh, I wish.
Nah.
It was, I think, an hour and 10 minutes to make that 19-minute commute.
That's awful.
Yeah, and it's because of the Hollywood Bowl traffic that jammed everything up. And maybe that's why I have a disdain for concerts.
Well, yeah, if you're in the traffic, it's no fun.
And it was an artist I'd never heard of.
I was gonna say, what was even happening at the Hollywood Bowl?
It was I think the artist was named Russ. Does that mean anything to you?
No, not at all. But
2 days after that, it was going to be John Mulaney doing stand-up.
Well, that is someone I know.
And that is definitely that definitely would have caused a lot of traffic. But yeah, it was like Russ. A bunch of artists I'd never heard of. Not that means much, but just we really got to get in the weeds of the incredible city planning that is that Hollywood area.
I've only been in that specific traffic once, and it was in an Uber. So I was like, I'm not driving. Pay someone else.
Yeah, it was nice. I was a passenger as well. I did not drive, and it helped a lot. I was able to enjoy it once we got to be bowling. If I had been the driver, I would not have had fun at the bowling alley by the time we got there.
What, not to spend too much time on this, what fancy bowling place was this? Was it that?
Lucky Strike.
Oh, where is that?
It's on Highland and... Franklin.
Oh, right in there, in the thick of it.
In the thick of it.
That's an awful idea.
Yep. I was told I've been to a bowling alley in Burbank, and it seemed like a bowling alley. Seemed like a solid
That's
place.
my number one requirement of a bowling alley.
Is that it be a bowling alley?
Yeah, that's almost it. One and only rule.
Yeah, I was told that it wasn't nice enough.
Damn.
You know what would have been nice? Getting there quickly.
Yes.
And having an expansive free parking lot instead of
would have been beautiful.
Going to Hollywood. But at the end of the day, we all had a couple laughs. And it was a grand old time for my first ever double date.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Evan.
Whom?
How you doing?
Oh, fine. I have like story as much as news I need to share.
Is it about my girlfriend's sister and the guy she's been seeing?
Blind item. No, this is about something more important. This is about Vons and their orange slices.
The candies?
Of course, the candies. You know the type, the signature select orange slices. We talked about them on our candy draft episode. It's a hot topic. Yeah. Or I guess we talked about
peach rings mostly, but orange slices came up.
Those were involved. Anywho, those are my favorites. I love them so much. And they changed. I don't know what they did. What? But they were sold out for a long time. And I was like, I guess this just isn't a thing. Fine by me. I shouldn't eat them ever. Probably just solidified toxic waste. But they're very tasty. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, they're all in stock again. But the bag looked a little different, like a different shade of blue. I'm like, okay, well, let's give them a go. They're too soft. They don't have that chew, that kind of little bite to them. And they're kind of bitter. Just soft and bitter. What is this shit? I'm mad.
Are oranges in season right now? I don't know.
Maybe that's what happened.
That could be part of it.
Oh, yeah. Some mad scientist had to make something happen. But I can report the peach rings, also different, but delicious. So
different.
I won't say better. Better.
Okay.
Don't ask.
Okay.
You keep that question to yourself.
All right.
Nah. Yeah. You know, you'll like get a different brand of peach rings. It's like that one kind of tastes a little different, but it's like they're all good. It's just like that. Just like another variation on them. I enjoyed them. But man, those orange slices are bad, and it broke my fucking heart.
That's tragic.
It's really sad. So that's all I have to say about that.
Unfortunately, your candy eating was not filled with perfection.
I strive for it. Perfect candy eating. I kind of do sometimes, and that's weird. You know what? One area I do, and I know not everybody loves this candy, but Mentos, not the mint ones, but the fruit Mentos. I always had a weird I need the last one that I eat to be a purple one, or really, really want that. And I have to make a decision often if I'm like, because you can get it from either end if you open both ends. And if that second to last one is purple, I'm like, all right, do I flip it over, eat that other one first, and then I got the purple one last? So I don't know. I think I do. I strive for perfect candy eating experience.
I guess I've never thought about that, but a coworker had bought like one of those rolls of the tropical flavored Starburst,
Yeah.
and he ate like just under half of them, and then was like, "Hey, do you want some?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And he said, "Just take them. Like I don't want to eat the rest of these." Like a responsible adult.
Yeah.
And
I'm baffled whenever people do that. I'm like,
yeah,
who are you trying to impress?
right.
That's not normal.
Yeah, because within like 15 minutes, I ate the rest
Oh,
of them.
easy.
And
You eat
I
half a
did not
candy
mean
bag
to. Yeah.
or whatever.
But it just so happened, I think, um, that I had two of each flavor in the
Mm,
roll.
that's great.
And similar, like I did not want to eat because I think my least favorite flavor would have been the one at the end, and I was like, I'm not gonna eat that one last.
No, it's a bummer. It's a bummer way
Yeah,
to go out. Same as like eating a Pop Tart and ending on the crust.
yeah,
What are you doing?
what? Yeah.
Wasting my time.
Yeah. I guess I've never thought about it though, but yeah, you're right. That's just kind of a meal eating thing in general, not just candy. Like if there's a food on the plate that I like the most and
Totally.
isn't temperature sensitive,
Yeah.
because it might be like, oh, I have to eat this first so that it doesn't get cold. Um, but in general, I'll try to at least not save the thing I like the least for the end.
Yeah. And it's weird how that like it does make you think like are we like and we'll get into the depths of my horrible perfectionism that I have with myself. But like is that just the total antithesis to like wanting anything to be perfect is realizing like in a meal truly the only thing I'm remembering is that last fucking bite. And I put that much weight into it.
Yeah.
Like, and what does anything matter? It's all just this fucking moment, whatever I'm doing.
Well, it's the first bite and the last bite for me. I want to
Yeah.
start strong and I want to finish strong. What happens in the middle, who
The
cares?
bulk of those bites are middle bites though.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm gonna start a
But
Buddhist food podcast. So this I don't remember. This was a me topic that I brought to you a few weeks ago, and I don't remember why. But you recommended this, and then something happened that was very relevant. And I'm like, I should just pretend this is why, but I don't want it. I'm honest to a fault.
yeah.
My fault. So this first off, I just want to say, like, sometimes when we get to a topic like this, where it's like, this is like when we did shame, where it's like, this is a genuine, like, I don't like this about myself, sort of thing. I
Right.
try to like look online, like, what are some like maybe I could find other people have some funny stories and steal them. No, like find other people's stories that are funny and go, and maybe that'll jog my memory and make me go like, oh yeah, that this one time this funny thing happened to me. My very brief research looking into just like awkward perfectionist stories is just like there's nothing funny about this. This is just bad. There's no humor to be found in perfectionism. So we got our work cut out for us to make this fun. But
If we feel it lagging, we just
yeah.
gotta play some music and get right back to it.
So I was going. Would that be like a good? If I could play that and do stand up and just play that much of it and then cut it off to start each new joke.
Yeah, instead of like your own catchphrase, like
Yeah.
you have the Thomas the Tank Engine theme.
I'd be
Or
remembered.
boing. Boing would be another good one. You
Mm,
say your joke and then
maybe it's
the music and
both.
then boing and then you start a new joke. That's
I feel like it's you do the punchline that gets a
yeah.
boing, which immediately goes into the Thomas the Tank Engine song, and then
can we hear that real quick?
Stops to start. So I still haven't isolated the boing, but we can get
at least it's at the beginning.
Get close. Yeah, we're gonna get a little bit of a beat, but all right, ready. Boing. It's a little sloppy. So I was walking down the street the other day, and I was looking at cars. What weird things cars are. How's this for a joke? Is it going well?
I am so stoked for this punchline.
Let's see what weird things cars are. Oof. Bumpers and headlights. Bumpers and headlights. Boing. Anyways.
Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun,
dun. So. Oh god. Now I want to look up some of my old bad stand-up material and just test it out with the music. So I had a thing happen.
Okay.
This shit ain't funny, but this is ironic and funny, and it makes me laugh. But as I've mentioned in the past, I use the Calm app occasionally.
Right.
Not as often as I used to, and not as often as I should, but a meditation app. And I need to get back on top of that. And I was trying to. We did our own guided meditation forever ago. Go back and listen to it. It's very serious. And very funny. But so I was like, hey, I gotta get back into this. I've been a little stressed out lately. More anxious the past few weeks or so, noticeably. I'm like, I gotta get back on this. I'm eating too much sugar, and I'm not doing any exercise or meditating or anything good for me. So let's get on that. So I'm doing a meditation, doing the daily Calm. And that is every day. I forget her full name, Teresa something, who's the person who runs that app, writes
Teresa Palmer is an actress.
Well, it might be her too.
Could be.
I don't know. Tamara. It's Tamara, not Teresa.
It's Tim and Eric.
It's Tim and Eric. Tim and Eric's Calm app. I don't want to listen to that. Any hoozles. So it's like every day it's a different kind of topic, and just something you do the meditation part of it, and then at the end she talks about something to think about through the day and blah blah blah.
Isn't it so weird how cars are?
Cars are so weird.
Headlights and bumpers.
Headlights and bumpers. Headlights and bumpers. Boing.
Can we get Thomas the Tank Engine as a guest on this podcast?
Fucking hope so. Choo choo, motherfuckers. Anyways, that particular day, the topic was teachers. Not just specifically like in high school, your teachers you've had. But I'm like, okay, I don't know what this is going to be about, but here I go. I do the meditation. It's about 10 minutes. And then afterwards, she starts talking about teachers. And she goes like, think back about all the people in your life, the teachers you've had, and the mentors, and the people who have like shown you support in the things you want to do and the things you're interested in, and helped you, guiding you through the way. And I just immediately like started having a panic attack, like full on like, oh, none of my teachers, none of, particularly the people you would categorize as mentors in my life were all very, I've said it before on this podcast, like I've had 3 different people all tell me you could have been great, but you aren't. Or you could have been great, but you weren't. Oh, we just didn't been a do
contender.
It. You could have been a contender. And I started freaking the fuck out, like, oh my God, and realizing like, I think that's where my perfectionism comes from, is I've had a lot of the people I kind of look up to and the instructors and teachers from film school and high school and coworkers, whatever. The idea that, like, let's hold off until you're perfect and then you can do the thing. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
that way about everything in my life, which is why I do so few things,
Yeah.
because I'm
That
very
I think that I
imperfect.
have a similar thing. I don't think that mine came from teachers as much as I think it came from within the family. Um
Ah,
cuz my grandma on my mom's side and then also my mom are very much like things that everyone in the world does should be the same way that I do them. And when they're different,
mm.
that means they're wrong.
Different is bad.
Different is bad. Except perhaps in those peach rings, because we're not allowed to know
Mm.
if it's better or worse.
It's not allowed. Not coming up.
But it's like a running joke with the rest of the family that
Yeah.
like if you do something, then you say something like, "Oh well, that's not the way I would have done it." Uh, and so that kind of mentality that's been passed through the generations, I think, is where a lot of my uh, feelings of perfection probably come from. What's interesting though
Yeah.
is like I always start at like this has to be perfect, whether it's anything. Right now we're moving into a new place, like hey, this
Yeah.
I'm still in the this apartment has to be decorated perfectly. Every single
Totally.
thing about this apartment has to be perfect. Um I'm partway through a screenplay. This
Yeah.
screenplay has to be perfect on the first try.
Yeah.
And then
It's
eventually I
impossible.
know I'm gonna get to a point. Yeah. I'm going to get to a point on both of these things
Yeah.
where it's going to become less of like this has to be perfect and more of like this works.
This has to be
So
done at some
yeah.
point.
And then at the end, I'll either feel like, man, I wish that this was perfect, or someone will let me know that it's not perfect, and then I'll feel bad.
And why does that feel so fucking bad? It really
I
does,
don't
though.
know.
uh, I was in looking stuff up when I did my little research. I found that inability to, not full on inability, but general, inability to take criticism is kind of goes hand in hand with being a perfectionist. And I
Yeah.
think that kind of falls into the category of like when I see someone that's acting like I've acted in the past and I'm like, that guy sucks. I hate that guy.
Yeah.
It's like, I know it's not perfect, but don't tell me.
Mhm.
So then I really know. At least before then, I can tell myself like I just know I'm overreacting. I'm being nitpicky and trying to make things perfect. But there's no such thing as perfect.
That's
Can't be done.
true. Can't be done.
Especially, both of us have our little creative ventures, and that's the hardest
Yeah.
thing to like. What's done? There's just no such thing. There's just a point where you stop working on it. I don't know. I've never reached a point with anything where I'm like, there's nothing more I would like to do with this.
Yeah, and I mean the nice thing is a lot of other like very famous and successful creative types
Hmm.
you hear from them talking about their projects that are beloved and
Right.
successful, and they're like, yeah, there's still things that I would change if I could. There are things that when I watch this movie or when I don't know, listen to the song or whatever,
Yeah.
like there were things that I would still tweak if I just had endless time to like work
Yeah.
on it.
It is, yeah. It is kind of the one, like specifically talking about the, well, I guess film and music industries. It's like it's kind of a positive about the studio system, corporate overlordship. Is like, man, it's deadlines. It's real hard
Yeah.
fucking deadlines, and just kind of got to get stuff done and put it out there, which is hard to do. I've definitely been working harder on that with music and just like putting stuff out, but even then it's like I've really to do I did like a year ago I put out one song that was just like just me with the acoustic guitar. There was nothing else on it. It's just a song I wrote, and it was probably like one of the songs people reacted best to. They're like, oh, this is good. And I'm like, I'm just gonna keep doing that. Here I go, I'm gonna keep doing that. But then in the back of my mind I'm like, but I could also spend this time trying to get better at recording so that it doesn't have to just be a sloppy put stuff out. It's like, oh, it actually sounds good. So I'm going to take courses and watch videos and practice and record and this and that, learn how to do stuff. I'm learning like orchestration, synthesis, which has been cool. It's been cool to learn, but I'm like, man, I am so fucking far past my initial goal of just la-di-da throwing some music out just for the sake of
Yeah.
being productive. It's hard.
Yeah.
Can't do it. But hey, I learned some things.
The other thing that perfectionism really ties into this podcast for is like just general social interactions. Like I always
Yeah.
hope that they're going to go perfectly, which again is impossible.
Oh, totally.
And I know it's impossible, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that when it goes imperfectly, it doesn't haunt me for many moons to come.
Absolutely. And, not to point to that because, I'm sure it was great. But like that, you're talking about going on a double date. That's a perfect situation of just like, three of these people, you don't know one of these people. So it's like you think you have a pretty good idea of how this is going to go, but it's probably not going to go that way. And you have to deal with that. And it's hard.
Yeah, I will say when I first, because we all drove together. And so when I first met this other guy, when he was getting in the car, um, my girlfriend was like, "Oh, this is my boyfriend, Chris." And then he, stuck out his hand to
Mm-mm.
shake mine and said, "Nice to meet you, Chris." Now, what do you think I said when I shook his hand?
Fuck off. I don't know. Nice to meet you, stranger.
I wish. I said, "I'm Chris." He already knows that. He said it out loud, and my girlfriend said it right before. So it was, "This is my boyfriend, Chris. Nice to meet
Nice
you,
to meet you,
Chris.
Chris.
I'm Chris."
I am Chris. This is
I
like
am Chris.
like religious text. Like a hymn. Oh god, that's great. And the funny thing about any social interaction, obviously, we never know what anybody's thinking or what they're like as a person necessarily internally. Obviously, I'm a good example of someone that can come off as higher energy, and internally I'm like dying. So like in that instance, if you had done that to me when we first met, my reaction could be just like, damn, that was super confident. Am I weird? I think I'm weird. Oh, he's so much cooler than me. You never know. No, I've
Yeah.
had plenty of bungled social interactions. uh, I nailed one the other day though. That was fun because what always frightens me, it's anything, everything frightens me. Is what I'd like to say.
Yeah,
Uh,
checks out.
Handshakes, high fives, hugs, that greeting. I think we talked about it in one of our episodes. What was it? It was like greeting each other. I remember we had some sort of a system for hugging. For like, is it a hug or a handshake? I'll have to go back and listen to that. We I think we figured it out, and I've now forgotten it. But
I don't remember that at all.
hey, maybe I'm making it up. But it's a very stressful thing to me.
Yeah.
And the other day, I met up with someone, and they put their hand out in a way I've never experienced. But they did it so confidently that it's like, clearly this is how they do things. And they're younger than I am. So I'm like, maybe this is a new thing. Uh,
Okay.
they put their hand out, palm down.
They put their right hand in, they took their right hand
Right
out.
hand out. No, they put their hand in, palm down, but like it would be a high five. So not a
Okay.
handshake,
Okay.
palm fully down,
Okay.
like The Departed.
Yeah.
Handshaky test. And I went for it. I went for an underhanded five, like a softball pitcher. Pow! And it seemed to be what they were expecting, and everything went okay.
Interesting.
I panicked for a second. I've never seen that before.
I was hoping you were gonna take the hand and give it a little kiss, like a princess,
And then leave.
Yep, and then say
Bye
goodbye
then.
forever.
So that was about a perfect interaction. I couldn't have
I
asked for more.
As we allegedly exit the pandemic,
Yes.
allegedly, I people are starting to shake hands again,
I know.
and
I
it
wasn't ready for
stresses
that.
me out.
I hate
Yeah,
it.
and
I
like I
thought we
get
all
it, like
kind of
we
were on the same page. Like this, we
right.
don't need to do this anymore.
And like I get that we after handshakes were outlawed.
Banned.
Um
Wanted.
uh that we realized that the virus was more airborne as opposed to
Sure. Yeah.
transferring via surface.
Yeah.
But it's still just like I get weirded out by it. Like I didn't shake
Yeah.
anybody's hand for a year and a half, and now
Right.
everybody wants to shake hands again.
Yeah. It's
No.
weird. Especially because like, I feel like, I mean, obviously people shook hands beforehand. And afterhand.
Yeah.
But hand in hand. But like shaking hands has never felt like an this sounds weird in this context, but like an intimate gesture. And it feels like that's
Right.
what people are like, oh, we can finally shake hands again. Oh, here we go. It's like, no, that's like, I shake the hand of people like I'm just meeting you, or I don't know what
Yeah,
to do with you.
it's
Or
more
you've thrown a
for
handshake at me.
business. Yeah, it's
Totally.
more for business, not for pleasure.
No. Oh, yeah. I need a pleasure handshake.
Sure, there's some
But
massage parlors that can hook you up.
Oh man. So yeah, I don't know. I think it was weird.
That's where the boing should come in.
Boing.
I need a good pleasure handshake.
I gotta reset it. Oh,
Boing.
let me get it closer. Try it again.
I need a good pleasure handshake.
Boing.
I'll cut it out one of these days.
Yeah, we'll get
It'll be
there.
beautiful, perfect, and beautiful.
I don't know if the listeners know this, but you have exclusive soundboard access, and I really wish that I had a soundboard of my own.
Never. Or yeah, I think we could both have one if we signed you in. One of these days. One of these
One
days.
of these days. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Another. So let me. I think I took a picture of this so we can run down this. That's a picture of gnocchi I made. This is unrelated. Now I'm just scrolling through my pictures. I've been watching a British show called Taskmaster on YouTube, and through that found out that British people call canned whipped cream squirty cream.
No way.
It's true. And here's a picture from Tesco. There. Well, you're not going to be able to see that, but it says squirty cream. Let me see if I can. It's backwards, but you can see it.
I can see it. Yeah, it's not backwards for me, but
oh, good.
That's it's wild.
It's fucked
Why?
up. I don't like it.
What is going on over there?
I gotta ask my friend Simon. Simon lives in the UK and wanted to come on here, but there's also that level of like, you're in the
How
UK.
are we gonna schedule that?
It's gonna be really tough to find a time we're all awake. But he's offered to like maybe pop in and do like a little recorded, send us a
pre-recorded segment.
Maybe I'll ask.
That'd be fun if we did
ask him to justify squirty cream.
yeah.
Oh god. So I did take a screenshot of this website, but it's a terrible screenshot and not at all what I was trying to take a picture of. But here it is. So they called these the traits of perfectionism.
Okay.
Fear of failure. Big for me.
I got that.
Procrastination. All the time.
Yeah.
Focus on results. Absolutely for me.
I guess so, yeah.
Getting less sure.
Yeah.
Unrealistic standards.
Yes.
And being highly critical.
Yeah. The most sure.
Yes. That, according to Very Well Mind, is what they consider the traits of a perfectionist. And I relate to all of that, which is unfortunate. But something else that brought up that I thought was interesting, whereas like you would kind of think like a perfectionist wouldn't be a procrastinator.
Yeah.
But it's like I am both. And being a perfectionist doesn't mean anything I do is good. It just means I hate myself. But an idea they brought up that I'm like, yes, I do that all the time, is it's the reason you're procrastinating. It's, are you procrastinating because you're lazy? Yes, I don't want to do it. Or are you falling into perfect moment syndrome, where you sit and you go like, I do want to do that, but there's going to be a better time. There's going to be a time when I'm like fully in and I'm like, I'm going to start writing that screenplay because my heart's in it. That time's going to come any day now.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. Even with just the DIY fixing of my couch. There's one more step I've got to do, but I'm like, I feel tired every day. So I tell myself, like, there's going to be a day I'm not feeling tired. And it's like, that's not true. I don't remember the last day I didn't feel tired.
Yeah.
I got to just do it at some point. But yeah.
That's a little bit how I feel about this move. Like, because I have basically the whole month to move.
Kind of makes it harder.
Yeah, and I mean, I've moved stuff already, and I've moved more than my girlfriend has. Like, she's hardly moved anything. Yeah, it's a competition.
Loser.
And I'm winning this move.
You're
so
winning.
Far.
It's just to get there first. You got to put a little button in the middle of the room so you can hit when you're done, and then set a timer for her.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, there's still like I also didn't realize, I think, how much stuff I really had until I needed to
Every
start
time I
moving
move,
it.
it's the fucking worst. Why do I
And
have so many things?
yeah. And the other problem, like, this isn't so much perfectionism, I don't think, but like I'll go through some stuff and be like, sure, I don't ever use this, but
Yeah,
when the time comes where I might need it,
totally.
wouldn't it be awesome if I had it? It's like,
Yeah,
but that's not, that
I'm
time's not coming, you
because
know?
I relate hard to that, and I almost wonder if that is like I'm not gonna say either of us are hoarders, but I wonder if that is like the
Yeah.
mindset that can lead to that. Like, I know, that show Hoarders that used to be so popular, and you go like, God, how do you end up like that? And it's like, yeah, I do definitely keep a lot of stuff because it's like, yeah, you think there'll be a perfect moment, there'll be a moment that this will come in handy. There's also just an ideal version of me that will never be surprised by anything. I'm ready for everything. I have all the things I could ever possibly need. Will I be
Yeah,
able to find them? Fuck no. They're all in a box in my closet. But I've got
exactly.
it all and I'm never getting rid of it.
There's so many things that like I didn't realize I had. And some of them will be things where I'm like, "Oh, it's good to know now that I have that because I've
Yeah.
wondered if I had anything like it
Hmm.
before." So I
COVID.
guess I'll keep it, but in my mind I know I'm going to forget I have it again.
Oh yeah,
And so it's
absolutely.
just going to take up space. There's going to be no point to me keeping it.
Nope. Never. And it does every time I go to Goodwill or something and get rid of a bunch of stuff. It always feels great.
Yeah.
And I I have gotten rid of some things that I care about, but I'm just like it doesn't make sense. There's no reason for me to have it, so I'll get rid of it. I've never regretted anything. Never. Once it's gone, I'm good. Even
Yeah.
the collecting episode, I think I mentioned that all of my CDs got stolen, and that is a collection. That is something I cared so fucking much about. Once it was gone, I'm still kind of like bummed. Collected all that
Right.
as a good collection, but it did not feel nearly as bad as I would have guessed. Like, those CDs were like everything to me, and they were gone, and I'm just like, all right, well, onward.
I know. Yeah, we've really got to figure out how we're going to handle my movie collection. um,
It's
my
always a
hundreds
thing.
upon hundreds of DVDs and Blu-rays.
No, every relationship I've ever been in, it's like my girlfriend has 5 DVDs. I have like 250 something, somewhere
Yeah.
in there. I'm like, sorry. My DVDs take up an entire wall.
Yeah.
Or like they are right now, my closet.
I realize that this is, well, I guess this is sort of perfectionist related. I'm gonna tie it back,
We're
baby.
making it happen.
I want my movie collection to be perfect, which
Yeah.
means that it can never stop growing, which
Yeah.
means it will only take up more space.
Yeah. I don't know what the point where, I mean, I guess the point was, yeah, my previous relationship, we just kind of ran out of space
Yeah.
for DVDs. And yeah, it just kind of reached a point where I'm like, all right, I gotta stop. And then it's been years now, and I just haven't bought any more. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, across the board, all of these things, the answer is Nike. Just do
Yeah. Do you think they're the most
it.
perfectionist brand?
Yeah, maybe. That swoop's a little weird. It's not perfect.
You think it's a sloppy swoop?
It's a sloppy swoop. A sloopy whoop. Loop, loop, loop.
Boy, speaking of sloppy over here. Cutting me off with your own
Cut
music.
you right off.
This is why I need a soundboard.
Oh, Jesus, that was fun. Go on.
No, I was accusing you of being
whoops.
sloppy.
That's fair. Sloop John B. Another thing to talk about.
Yeah.
That was brought up on the traits. The first one, fear of failure. Probably the biggest for me. We've talked a lot about it. And I like doing new shit all the time. Like, I'm constantly getting into new stuff, like reupholstering my couch or painting or photography, or just, I love learning about new shit and trying to get good at it. And that just means I'm going to fail constantly. And I still can't get used to it. And I really thought actively, and it makes all the sense in the world. Everyone says it's what it does for them. Really thought improv would be the thing to help me with that. Just be like, oh, I'm just failing all the time. But instead, it's just like, I'm failing all the time. And it feels bad. I can't get over it. I can't get over it. It always hurts.
Yeah, it's wonderful that we can bring another episode back to improv, because
every time
that was we've talked about it before, but I would spend a lot of scenes kind of off to the side waiting for the perfect moment to come in, the perfect joke to deliver, to make the scene perfect.
Yeah,
and you can't do that.
It's like, that's the perfect point to make.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's exactly me. And it would be, and this is what the training is for, is like, I'm on the back line and like, I feel it. I feel those instincts where it's like someone says something and I have a response.
Mm-hmm.
But instead I stop because I'm like, I don't want to interrupt. I want to let them be perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ruin it. So I'm going to wait until my perfect moment. And then some bullshit happens out there, and you're like, God damn, if I had gone out there and said that thing, this would be a much better scene. Too bad I didn't.
Yeah.
It's the worst. But I found no growth in it. Where was the growth? I was supposed to grow. Become a better boy.
There's no growing in improv.
That's what's up. An improv team of their own.
Yay!
Yeah.
You mentioned your reupholstering your couch.
Yeah.
We had to buy a new couch for our apartment. The couch that I have, I love the couch that I have.
Great couch.
But it's way too fucking big.
It's a big ass couch
to fit in this place.
You currently live in a big ass apartment.
I do, yeah. I do live in a, and that's also part of why it's taking me so long to move stuff, is I have so much stuff because I have the space for it. Yeah. And I am going to have considerably less space in this new place. But we had to get a new sofa. My girlfriend wanted a sofa that also pulls out to a bed, so that when guests come to visit, they got a place to sleep.
Yeah.
And so we went to so many different stores and sat on so many couches looking for the perfect couch.
Oh, so hard.
Yeah. And we found one that was great. It had the sleeper ability, and the cushions that we sat in were so soft, because I love a soft couch.
All about it.
And a lot of the sleeper sofas that we tried were not so soft. But we finally found one, and it was nice and soft, and we were like, okay, this is a good compromise of what each of us wants. It folds into a bed and it's soft. It got delivered last week, and and we paid for the assembly because I didn't want to put a sleeper sofa together.
Totally.
And they were like, you got to let the cushions kind of sit for like a day or two, especially
Oh
because there's
yeah.
the mattress inside. So that's also kind of got to like sit for a couple days.
Weird.
And a couple days later, I was assembling more furniture in the new place, and I was like, you know what? The sofa has had enough time to air out. I'm gonna sit on that sofa.
Fuck yeah.
Evan,
Hmm.
these cushions are so stiff.
Oh!
They need to be broken in, I'm assuming, because they are not so soft. The back cushions are soft.
Brutal.
And the like side pillows are soft, but those cushions that you sit on are not soft.
I
And
never
I
thought
don't
about
know how
that.
to break them in other than just like just be punching them, but
yeah. Just
it
take
was
all your
truly
fury
like
out.
I I laughed as I sat alone on this couch. Just the sheer failure that I felt.
It's like the Joker. He's lost his
Yeah, just
mind.
exactly. I sat there and I laughed to myself of just like we really must have failed. We got swindled by Bob's Discount Furniture.
Oh, Bob will get you every time. I
Bob will
never
get
thought
you.
about that. Like when you are trying out furniture in stores, it's pretty broken in. A lot of other
It's
people have
pretty
tried it out.
broken in. Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Damn. When we got my couch, it was the floor model though, so it's broken in as fuck. And now it's just
Yeah.
broken. Where are we at? We're reeling. We're reeling down. I got a one last thing to talk because obviously being a perfectionist didn't make me thrive the way one would expect in film school.
mm.
Seems like a good place for perfectionists. But again, I was just a competitive asshole. It's tough
Yeah.
when you're a perfectionist and 19 to be, good at things or fun to be around. People seem to enjoy me though, so whatever. But so I got to direct one short in terms of the like group projects where everyone had a crew position. So I got to
Yeah.
direct that one. I didn't write it. It was a friend of mine wrote it, and it was a horror movie. I was very into it. And so like I wanted it to just be perfect, and it's pretty quick. I think the first lesson you learn when you direct anything is, well, it's not going to be.
Yeah.
Don't you worry, this is not going to be perfect at all. But here's a weird thing about being a perfectionist is that my interests are so imperfect with music and film. I love sloppy shit. I love weird stuff. I love like noisy alternative rock crap that's like, no, if I recorded it, I would have made it perfect and it would have sounded like shit. So like I don't know what to do with myself. But I was coming into this being like, I love so the short in essence is a little kid having nightmares about monsters. So we've got all these cool monster masks and thinking up cool ways to make them look real with lighting and props and shit like that. And I love that. I love like old Roger Corman movies and shit like that where I'm like, let's do camera tricks. Let's just do whatever we can to make this look fucking scary. And working with the DP there to make that happen. And so much of it really does look legit. There's one in particular that we had a mask for, I don't know what you would call it in general, but like essentially a Creature of the Black Lagoon looking thing, like a fish monster mask.
Yeah.
And these were like really high quality masks, not just like Halloween store masks. These are somebody's collection. They had like a shit ton of like really beautiful, realistic masks. So we used that. And it was in the script, it was supposed to come out of the kid's hamper, a clothing hamper, just come come up as if like, I don't know, just coming out of nowhere essentially, which is impossible without rebuilding this house. And so I had the idea, I'm like, all right, for that, because it'll be a cutaway shot, we're gonna get the kid in the hamper, put this giant mask on the kid's head, cover the kid in clothes, and then you just get the head coming out, and it looks like it's kind of coming out from an unreasonable angle, not from nowhere, but from a smaller person. I'm like, this is going to be perfect. It's so bad. It's so clearly just like a little kid with this giant fucking mask on coming out of the hamper. And I'm like, the rest of it's not perfect, but I think it came out okay. And it was just like, there was nothing. And we couldn't just come to that between me, the editors, and the writer, just being like, I don't think this shot needs to be here. This looks really fucking bad. But everyone else was like, yeah, but it's fun. It's funny. It's goofy. I'm like, but that's not perfect. But that's not what I want. It's not okay if it's like, all of a sudden this looks silly and bad and that makes people laugh. That's a bad thing. I don't want them to laugh at me. But I lost out on that, and it is in there, and it looks silly as fuck. And now, 10 plus years removed from it, I do find it very funny. It's shit like that. And maybe one of a billion reasons why I don't direct shit ever anymore. I don't know. I get too caught up in stupid bullshit. God damn, that looked stupid.
Well,
I
think looking stupid is a great way to tie us into what have we learned. And we learned those traits, that fear of failure, that procrastination, the highly critical, all those things, and we learned that that's us. Memory. That's us, baby.
That's us. That's why this podcast is so perfect.
Yes, that's the thing. Every episode of this podcast has been perfect,
flawless. But that, we've told that story a billion times before. But that was truly like, without you, I never would have started this, because I just needed someone else to push me, because I'm like, I don't know what I wanted it to be in the first place, but I wanted it to just. When you want something to be quote unquote perfect, it's kind of like you're just constantly searching. Sometimes you don't even know what that perfect is. So I was like searching for it. And then like you and I just kind of like talked it over dinner. I'm like, I think that's great. I think that's it. I think we did it. Okay. I think that's what I'm learning, but I'm still really bad at is I need collaborators. And I'm bad at collaboration. I'm really, really bad at doing it, but it's helpful. It's good to have other people's shit out there. So that's something I'm learning. Get rid of your stuff. You'll feel better. When you learn that. It's not that big a deal to get rid of some of your shit. You'll feel better in the morning.
Yeah. But not my 500 movies.
I'm going to sneak in and get rid of 3 of them.
Which 3?
Now you'll find out.
No. Are you going to make me go through my Excel spreadsheet and see which ones are missing?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Something that is not missing is us on a variety of podcasting platforms. We're on all of them. I'm talking Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pocket Casts, the web browser, howdowehuman.com. You can check us out on any of them. We got that website. You can check us out on any of these places. You can, bombard your friends with links to where they can listen to us on. If they're like, oh, well, I am not on Spotify. After their controversies last year, hey, send them that
Yeah.
Apple Podcast link. Send them the URL to our website.
You can go in our bio link or just type it out. linktr.ee dash HOWWE. Uh-oh. Never mind. I spelled it wrong.
There we
How
go.
we do human. Oh, well.
Anyway.
You're back.
Or go to every single one of those platforms and give us a little rating, leave a review, all of these wonderful things that most of you tune out when you listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
You can also check us out on a variety of social media platforms.
Oh, I love that.
You can check us out on Instagram at How Do We Human.
We got that handle.
You can follow us on Twitter at How Do We Human Pod.
We got those tweets.
We got them.
I was going to do something and forgot what I was going to say. It was gone. I fucked up.
Check us out on Facebook at How Do We Human.
I don't think you're ready for that handle.
Or send us an email at howdowehumanpod@gmail.com.
The best part of that handle is that we got it up.
You do it every time.
And it's a funny thing is it's never intentional. It's a panic. I'm like, which one's the one I'm supposed to do? Which one am I not supposed to do? Got it. Snatched it. Because back right next to each other, snatched feels like the one that would be inappropriate.
I agree with that.
Mm.
It's not until you finish the lyric that "got" is the one that
it's like, I see what I did.
It's a little bluer. Yep. Before we get into plugs, Evan, I will say I have not practiced at all my John Malkovich impression. Do we want to do them?
I have not either. I have watched Con Air.
Hey, isn't that a great movie?
It's a good time. I didn't do any of that. I was working on. I've got a new impression. I'm like, ooh, I'm interested in nailing that down.
Okay,
and that's Jason Bateman. I don't see a lot of Jason Bateman impressions out there, but I felt like now I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna do it and it's gonna sound terrible, but buddy, that's a big part of it. I can't get into it. I can't do it on here.
That's an interesting. Should we?
It's just not the right time.
I feel like he kind of tilts his head up a little bit, I feel like, when he's speaking, and it's kind of I don't know what I expected there, pal. That's like he kind of goes up with him, so maybe we'll add that to the rotation. Goldblum, Malkovich, and Bateman,
the classics.
Hey, reach out to us on those social media platforms. Give us random celebrities you want us to do half-assed impressions of.
Hell yeah.
Evan, you got anything you'd like to plug?
Naturally. Obviously. What, do I gotta go into an episode with nothing to plug? I would never.
You've done that at least twice in the past.
Maybe. Whatever. It's not who remembers the past. It's all about the present. What I want to talk about, this isn't really something to plug as much as it's just like an idea, something that needs to happen, something I want to work on, but it's got to be perfect. Okay. I was looking around, and I couldn't find evidence of this ever happening. There is, as far as I could see, not a movie starring Alan Arkin and Ellen Barkin at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And That's silly. We need a vehicle for Arkin and Barkin and Alan and Ellen.
Wow. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Alan Arkin, Ellen Barkin. Embark. Ooh, now we're on something. Let's get a log line together. Alan Arkin and Ellen
Noah's
Barkin
Ark.
and embark on a. I'd say I thought that like Alan's bark.
It's worse than his bite.
It's like Noah's Ark, but just for dogs.
You are correct. They have not worked together. They have not worked together at all.
I also realized in looking this up, I've really not seen Ellen Barkin in much of anything.
I know. I don't
She's
think
a
I
very
have either.
famous
I've seen
person.
Ocean's 13. Yeah,
I've
seen
saw
Ocean's 13, and that might be it.
I see she was in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I've seen that, but I don't remember her in it.
Let me look up old Ellen Barkin's filmography.
I mean, she's been on Animal Kingdom for the past decade or so, which I don't know why.
That played that advertisement would play every time I went to an AMC theater.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about that show that looks unbearable to me.
I completely agree.
And it's right in that wheelhouse where it's like, yeah, no, I love Breaking Bad. I love Ozark. Like, it seems like it's kind of in that world. And I'm just like, no, this looks awful. Can't do it.
I've seen Sea of Love.
Oh, congratulations.
Ocean's 13. I guess I've seen The Cobbler. I don't remember her in that at all. And then, of course, the trailers for Animal Kingdom and this podcast's dearly beloved The New Normal.
Yes, of course. Naturally. Yeah, so...
Evan, Animal Kingdom ended in 2019.
What?
It only ran for 3 years.
This is impossible. What is happening?
Oh,
hang on.
Maybe it's... You know what? Let me
you refresh that.
She is no longer on Animal Kingdom.
Oh, spoilers.
That's why that's come up here.
Yeah, because I'm like, I've been seeing endless fucking ads for it ending this year.
Yeah, she is no longer on. Let me see what happens to her character. Let me just spoil it for us.
8 years? It's got a high rating on IMDb. It's got an 8.2.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well,
I'm
that's
good.
Strange. She is shot dead in season 4.
Hell yeah. Good for you, Barkin. Get out of there.
Do you want to know? I'm just going to read you her character's Wikipedia biography real quick.
Exciting.
It's only a couple sentences, but
okay.
Ellen Barkin as Janine Smurf Cody.
Right, Smurf.
The tough matriarch of the Cody family and Jay's estranged grandmother, who runs a criminal enterprise in Oceanside, California. Smurf is very protective of her family and presents a borderline incestuous love towards them.
Ooh.
She is forced to kill her adopted son, Baz, after he betrays her, and she's briefly confined to jail. She is later diagnosed with terminal cancer and plans an elaborate final job, the bunker heist, to die on her own terms and take at least Pope with her. However, after her sons refuse to go through with it, she is shot dead by Jay, who fulfilled her wish.
Wow. All right. Well, that's a different.
That does sound insufferable.
Does it? And it's weird.
Anyway, back to Arkin and Barkin.
Yeah. No. They just need something.
Yeah.
Alan Arkin's up there. We don't know how much longer we've got.
Yeah.
We've got old Arkin on there. Adam Arkin and Ellen Barkin's just not the same.
It's not the same, but Adam Arkin is welcome to be a part of this cast.
How about Arkin and Barkin?
Arkin and Barkin, they're 3 lawyers.
Yes. AAB.
They will fight for you.
Chris?
Yeah.
What you got going on?
I'd also like to plug a concept that I think needs to be enacted.
Fuck yeah.
And it's to just annihilate all algorithms.
Yeah.
As much as I've cut back severely on my Facebook time, my Twitter time, and my Instagram time, the one thing that I can't help myself from looking at is on my phone. If I swipe to the right on the home screen, I get a bunch of Google News stories that
yes,
Google has curated for me.
Google's. Ooh.
And the problem is, I don't like a lot of the stories that are posted.
No.
And one of them recently was a blatant spoiler for Doctor Strange, and it infuriated me.
This is what they do.
I'm off social media specifically to avoid these things.
Yeah.
It's not the only reason, but it's up there.
There are. I've been there, and I will say there are ways to remove that from your browser. But
all right, I'm gonna have to figure that out, because it is. I mean, I've had to go through and individually select and be like, don't show me things from these websites.
Yeah.
I recently had to say, stop showing me shit about the Met Gala. I could not care less.
You sure?
There's so many things that are like, so and so stuns in. It was like Emma Stone stuns in Greece in this silver pantsuit for her movie premiere, or so and so totally served looks at the Met Gala. So and so understood the assignment.
Stone stuns in the sun with her son. She's a kid now.
Also, there's so many news stories that are like, hey, this is not news. This was like public knowledge like 5 or 6 years ago.
Totally. Yeah. They'll link you to old stuff. They'll link you to bullshit sites that are just more so than Twitter. Google is like actively trying to find stuff that like boils my blood. Just makes me pissed off. And it's bad. It's like, why are you showing me stuff from websites I've never visited?
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Other people are clicking on it. And they want to know.
Florence Pugh's flippy bob hairstyle is a masterclass for growing out a pixie cut. Why would I want this?
I don't know. I mean, you want a masterclass on growing out a bob cut?
Yeah,
bob cut.
I do. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I want to grow into a Robert cut.
Yes, Robert Cut.
Robert Cut. Melanie Linsky flaunts cleavage in red dress alongside husband Jason Ritter at Candy premiere in LA. Who gives a shit?
I mean, I'm not interested in that one.
That's the other thing, is like, I can't like say like, this was you're way off the mark. You're off it by a considerable amount. But you're not way off.
Yeah.
Tom Felton says playing evil wizard Draco Malfoy did him, quote, no favors with the girls in school.
Oh, Thomas Felton. Draco!
Okay, that wasn't supposed to play twice. Sorry, Draco.
Here's where Johnny Depp and ex-Kate Moss stand, now amid claims he once pushed her down the stairs.
Johnny, no!
That's the other
thing. God damn it! I keep scaring myself. That was inappropriate.
So many of these algorithms are hell-bent on making sure I have every piece of information in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial.
Oh, yeah.
No, thank you.
No, I haven't shown any interest in it.
No, I didn't vote for Minamata in the best films of 2021 for the Oscars.
And I definitely don't think I've done anything to warrant this many ads from Rick Caruso for mayor, but good on you, man.
Holy shit.
Holy
Rick Caruso
shit,
for
Rick
mayor.
Caruso.
Oh my God.
Losing in the
polls. You got
polls.
a plan to clean up the homeless crisis, but you don't have a plan to stop me from hitting the skip ad button on YouTube?
Get him.
Get wrecked.
Get wrecked, Caruso.
Get wrecked, Caruso.
Get
I mean,
wrecked.
If it's down to you and someone Republican, I guess we gotta vote for you, but get wrecked otherwise, buddy.
Get wrecked and goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.